after week 12, going to quickly go over the power ranking in my league. Let's talk about the tiers. There is tier 1, there are three teams, pretty clear at the top. Sky Gary, Dream Shakers, and Be More Team Baltimore. I think that I think YP is gonna lose. Baltimore is gonna lose to Sky Gary this week, and I think Leader is gonna probably get the number one seed, in my opinion. Getting number one, there's some money incentives. Getting number one in the regular season, but you don't get anything for being number two in the regular season. So you want to go for that spot. I think I think Sky Gary, they're playing each other. So I think Sky Gary is going to win. And if I think if they play again in the playoffs, Sky Gary is going to win again. That's pretty clear in my opinion. Let's get into the teams. So YP, yeah. So looking at this team, he, sure, points is strong, right? Threes, now that he dropped Joe Harris, hey, he may not be. He dropped the guy that's making 3.4 threes, and if Terry Rozier gets hurt in a week, YP may not win threes, and we know YP is punting a couple categories like the turnover, like the blocks. I mean, even the rebounds. Cantor is gonna lose out a lot of the minutes, almost all the value when Nurkic comes back. So he really has one guy, Julius Randle, grabbing the rebound, because everybody else, a lot of the guys he has, is averaging 3-4 rebound. That's not good enough. Yeah, I worry about this team. To be honest, I think if I get into the playoffs, I play YP in the first round, it's 50-50. Maybe I have a better shot, depending on who I pick up. Depending on if like Norman Powell cools off, stuff like that. But yeah. But YP is doing the right thing. Like, he realizes he is really lacking the steals. His steal leaders is the guys he picked off of the waiver wire, like Thaddeus Young and Sadorowski. But both guys could potentially, in the playoffs, lose all their minutes. I mean, Thaddeus Young the minutes is really inconsistent. Average maybe getting 23, 24 minutes, but good. Getting the steals, right? Sadorowski, sure, I would sell high. Like, if the Bulls, I talked about this, if the Bulls are out of the playoffs, all of a sudden there's no point playing Thaddeus Young, Thomas Sadorowski. If they go on a 5-game losing streak, what's the point? What's the point of playing them? And they playing Utah, they playing a couple other guys, and if they miss the playoff, you gotta develop the young guys. So yeah, I mean, this team's gotta win steals to win every week. You gotta win steals, in my opinion. The field goal actually pretty good for this team, because Norman Powell has been shooting 50%, Devin Booker is shooting 50%. The high volume guys, Malcolm Brogdon 46 is actually pretty high for him. Maybe he can sustain this for the rest of the season. Shea 50% also very good. So his field goal is actually good for a guard team. But yeah, I think have a lot of weaknesses going to the playoffs. I think the leader is Sky Gary's team. Sky Gary is number one, but leader's team is coming. Michael Porter Jr. has been playing really, really well, grabbing those rebounds, hitting the threes, being super efficient. Kevin Porter Jr. is a guy that we know his potential, right? Just waiting for John Wayne Oladipo. One of them shuts down, one of them gets traded, and then Kevin Porter Jr. is gonna play 40 minutes a night and putting up average 20 points, 7 assists, 1.5 steals, 0.6 blocks, that type of numbers. So it's really scary. Leader, I think when Leader plays most team, and he picked up Malik Beasley, although I don't think Malik Beasley fits Leader's team that well, because you pick up such a a guy that's making so many threes, but I'll be much more comfortable in the playoffs, especially. My personal strategy is I just improve the categories that I'm good at and just win. Like for Leader's team, I think I want to go. Actually, the field goal Leaders team is not so great at field goal department, but I want to go for the rebound. I want to go for a bit more assists. I want to go for steals and blocks. rather than Malik Beasley, because Malik Beasley doesn't give the three categories that leader really wants. The threes is really nice. That's why he's ranked pretty high. 3.5 is really nice. But again, if actually leaders got a few guys that can hit threes, but you need like three guys that hit over three threes to be competitive nowadays in the league. And in our league, there aren't that many big man teams, so pretty much all the teams are shooting a lot of threes. So I try to make a trade. Obviously, if you're listening to this, you can't really trade him if he goes off. But yeah, I think leader's team is good. But I don't think these Baltimore and Shakers can beat Sky Gary. Although leader did beat him last week, but Sky Gary's got some injuries going on last week. Full strength now that he released. He put the guy out of the IR. OG. Yeah, this team is. Who can beat him in field goal? He's got Jacob Pertl, who leader probably should have picked up, in my opinion. Some big man teams. He has Clint Capella. He has Jokic. He has Ben Simmons. He has Ban. Yeah, just the biggest field goal anchors in the league. And then he picked up Robert Williams. So it's not like he got everybody off the draft. Robert Williams and Pertl, they were out there, but just nobody picked up. And yeah, like the rebound. He traded away Valanciunas, but it doesn't. I don't think it would impact him that much in terms of rebound. He still got, three big rebound guys, Bam and Jokic. Although I do see him in a scenario in the playoffs where he could potentially lose rebound is if Clint Capella gets hurt for a week or two. Then all of a sudden, there are many teams that could challenge him in rebound because he traded away Valanciunas. So that's one scenario I see. He could one injury could, if Capella is out, and the Atlanta Hawks, everybody is back. Gallinari's been playing quite well. John Collins, playing quite well. So I don't know. Capella has been in and out of the lineup. He's missed a few games here and there. So that's one scenario I could see him potentially lose. But yeah, even that, like Pertl averaging 7.7, like Pertl could average 10 rebounds the rest of the way, playing 30 minutes. His past 7 days, Milwaukee only 6 rebounds, but look at the numbers. If he's starting, once Aldridge is out of the lineup, he's been averaging 10 rebounds a game. So really, really good stuff. And steals and blocks. Sure, he's got the most steals. He's got how many guys? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 guys averaging over 1.5 steals. I understand steals is high variance, but nobody in the league is close. Maybe my team is close to his level of steals. And blocks, yeah. Robert Williams, 1.7. Clint Capella, 2.3. Nerlens Noel, also a lot of blocks on this team as well. So, yeah. I've been talking about this team all season being the #1 team. And, yeah. Really, really good. And tier 2, I think it's Kawhi Leonard's laugh. I feel bad for Dr. Walkby. He is probably tier missing the playoffs. Although his record is decent, but his entire team is hurt and out. But Kawhi Leonard's laugh is tier 2. I think Daniel's team. I don't really like Daniel's team. I think the team build has some. I would put him tier 3, but I put my team. I put Horky's team in tier 2. Although me and Horky are 7th and 8th seed, and we both could potentially miss the playoffs. With 2 games left, and Kawhi Leonard's laugh should be in the playoffs already. So Kawhi Leonard's laugh is tier 2 because he's got Karl Anthony Towns, he's got Kawhi Leonard, he's got Miles Turner. Although the rest of the team, I'm not too high. He's got DeRozan, which is also very nice. But I think Ja Morant on his team, he could. I would much prefer him going for a big man team because he got Karl Anthony Towns, he got Miles Turner, he's got Rashawn Holmes. If he can build on top of that, he could potentially challenge Sky Gary. But he has guys like Josh Richardson, he has guys like Joe. Okay, Joe Ingles been playing pretty well. But I would rather much just trade Ja Morant away for a big rebound guy if I can, to try to solidify, because you get some nice big guy, like good also big field goal anchors too. Rashawn Holmes, crazy good field goal anchor. But then you got some guards and you have Carmelo Anthony on your team, so just and yeah, it just doesn't make too much sense. And Kelly Oubre Jr. They just cancel all your efficiency. Yeah, I think it's such a waste having Rashawn Holmes on your team and not just go big man and Cat and Miles Turner, But this team, has a lot of great players, so it's tier two. My team, I got Harden and Curry. I got a lot of guard stats, and my rebound is not bad in this league because I got Harden, I got Russell Westbrook, and there are a lot of guard teams in this league. So like I have more rebound than a lot of the teams. Like for example, I actually have more rebound than Baltimore, I think. So yeah, I got two top five guys in Harden and Curry. I think I should make the playoffs. If I lose both games, I could potentially miss. So maybe 7th or 8th seed, I don't know. Yeah, we'll see who I play in the first round. Depend on the matchup. Maybe make it to the second round. But if I run into Scat Gary, probably 65% I lose. Same thing with Horky. We have the same record, but because I beat Horky, we are both 6-6. Horky also it's a guard team, and Horky's team also could potentially challenge Scat Gary, because Scat Gary, the other categories, he's just too good. The big man. Horky's also got a lot of steals, I think. How many steals? So she's got one guy. Draymond Conley has 1.5. One guy, two guy, three guy. Okay, he's only got three guys over 1.5, while Scat Gary got like 7, I believe. But Dylan Brooks is good enough. Jaylen Brown is good enough. So these guys are close. So, and if Horky drop a couple guys, if he drops like Bogdanovich, stuff like that, he could potentially hang with Apple in the steal department. But again, probably 60-40 or 70-30 when both teams play. But if like a team like Baltimore, I think just probably got no shot at beating Scat Gary, as I said it many times. And then I talk about the tier 3 in risk of missing the playoffs. I think a triple-double, no assist. Nate Robinson, not entirely safe, to be honest. Dr. Wabai, Nate Robinson, and triple-double, no assist, because there are 2 games left, and I don't think Wabai can pick up another win, to be honest with you. Let's talk about Wabai tier 3, because Embiid is still like a week or 2 out. So he's probably going to lose this week, and next week he's got half a week not having Embiid. And LaMelo Boy just got out. So his team just, I don't know. Now it's just what's rest is Zach LaVine, Tobias Harris, and nobody else for the next week and a half. So that's just really tough. Tyrese Halliburton is good, but the guy is mainly just efficiency guys. The counting stats is not going to help him that much. So yeah, bad. I mean, LaMelo Ball was playing so well, averaging almost 20 points, 18 points, 1.5 steals, and hit a lot of threes. For the season, he's averaging 2 threes. So yeah, it's a tough year for Walkby, and what else can you do? Just come back next year. And also Drummond he's still holding Drummond. He's too good to drop. So even if he make the playoffs, I mean, he's just gonna lose in the first round without all his guys. And let's talk about Daniel's team. I think he's got D'Lo in the IR, but like I said, his team doesn't make too much sense because he's got Giannis Antetokounmpo. You probably need to punt free throws. Although, if he can improve to 70% on 10 attempts, I guess that's not a punt. Because really, this is the only guy on his team that's better than free throw. Field goal wise, he's got Pascal Siakam has been disappointing. Lonzo Ball, Tyler Hero. So both his efficiency not so good. has some threes, has some points, has some rebound. So in a week where like his guys play a lot of games, he could win. But I just don't think this team can. If you play Team Baltimore, probably just gonna lose. Play Gary, probably just lose. 9 out of 10 times. So I think this team will make the playoffs. Although he's still at risk. Lian is, if he loses both games and Lian win both, which could very possibly happen, and then he might just be out of the playoffs. So yeah, and actually they do play each other this week. So yeah, that will tell us a lot. And the last tier 4 is the teams that are already out of the playoffs. So pretty much the 3 teams are out. I think there are 5 teams fighting for that one spot left. We got Walk by Daniel, Moondust, Horky, and Triple Double Norris. 5 teams fighting for that one spot. I think Triple Double Norris' team is good. I think if he plays Team Baltimore is gonna struggle pretty hard. Because I think he has more points than team, and he has more threes than him. He has more rebound. So that's already, and his free throw is better. So that's already like full category, and he needs to win. Like Team Baltimore does not have any blocks and has a lot of turnovers. So potentially, if it's Team Baltimore gets first seed, if somehow beats Skagray or gets a second seed, and he plays this team in the playoff first round, there's gonna be a problem, in my opinion. But right now he's outside of the playoffs looking in. I thought he was gonna beat Horky last week. I don't know exactly. Like he should not have more points. Like Horky should not have more points. Yeah, Horky's guys played like 240 more minutes than Lian's team, and only had 16 more points. So yeah. I guess did he use those? Yeah, he could have used one more acquisition and just win, but he decided not to use it. Yeah, but he still could make the playoff. But if you lose this week, I think it's pretty down. Yeah, that's why I think it's a must-win for Lian this week against Nate Robinson knockout. We'll see. And then the last 3 teams are out of the playoffs. Everybody gave up at this point. These 3 teams gave up at this point. And Team Sheep got a win, so won't be a record. 0 wins and 12 losses. That'll be a record. So yeah, that's it. I'll see you guys next week.